Dude, absolutely. Well, we're rolling right now, man, and I gotta say, I'm pretty excited because I found the last 6-pack of the beer that you wanted to drink, and you have the details on it. Yeah, I was pretty worried about it because, man, it's been a shitty week as far as weather and everything like that in the world of Wisconsin, which I think you're a little familiar with.
I know how it can get like that way.
Yeah, and you wanted to drink some. This is the original Budweiser.
Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, I know a little history about this, or at least like I never read anything about it, but as legend would have it, I know like a little bit about it. So it's like this beer we're drinking. Mine has a logo on it that said Budweiser, because I got mine from Europe, and yours is like the imported version, right?
Right.
So it says Czechvar. Yeah. So basically the deal is when the Budweiser that everybody knows in the States, like that real cheap, shitty beer that with the fucking Clydesdales and shit. Basically when they created their beer, they were modeling it after this Czechoslovakian beer.
Okay.
And it's like, it's kind of considered to be one of the best Pilsners or lager or whatever you want to call it. I don't really know. Some people say that a Pilsner is a type of lager, and I've heard people say other shit. I don't really fucking know, man. But basically, yeah, this beer, this brewery out of, no, it's Czech Republic, but it's supposed to be like one of the best ones ever. So Budweiser was like, oh, we're going to copy their recipe. And they completely fucked that up, obviously, because this stuff, in my opinion, this stuff tastes way better.
Yeah, well, we're going to give it a shot. Are you ready for this? So when I poured it, I got to say, it kind of does smell like a Budweiser.
Oh, yeah? I mean, it's a light beer, you know, but it's got, there's something about it. There's some kind of like, it's like the aftertaste. The way it finishes is different, I think, than most of the beers you find in America.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I'm going to crack one open here, too.
Yeah, well,
you want to get into the numbers and stuff?
Yeah, so we always talk about the ABVs, the IBUs here on this lovely program, and that's what we got for the version that we have. It's 5% ABV, 32 in the IBU, so not too bitter, and like it's a lager. They say it's for real connoisseurs of beer, which I like to classify myself as that. I don't know much about it, but I know it makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you said, you kind of give the story about it. So Rob's not really a huge beer drinker, believe it or not. So he's on a beer drinking podcast, and he only drinks.
That's an interesting concept.
I drink one beer a week.
Well, and it's for the podcast, I take it.
Yeah, and I've acquired a taste. I'm getting there. I will say this, that Budweiser, I used to drink more. Hated Budweiser. My dad drinks Budweiser. Never understood it, so I'm interested to see where it came from and how much they screwed it up.
Well, and here's the other thing that I forgot to mention. So the reason it's Czechvar over there is because of the copyright infringement. So once they started importing it, they had to change the name because, Budweiser, like the American Budweiser, was already established.
So they stole the recipe and then stole the name.
Well, I don't think they really stole the recipe because to me it tastes pretty fucking different. But they tried to and failed.
It definitely, it might smell like a Budweiser, but definitely does not taste like a Budweiser. The last time I had a Bud Light, I think was in the summer, and boy, it tasted like shit. And this does not. Yeah,
to me, Bud Light just tastes like nothing. I mean, you might as well be drinking a fucking water or like. They're making those sparkling waters now that taste that like they're booze sparkling waters. They're actually pretty good, like the White Claw or whatever.
Yeah, I've had a couple of those. I remember I used to drink, what was it, the Four Loko shit?
Oh, jeez. Yeah. I remember we used to chug some Sparks back in the day, but they fucking they kind of ruined that. I think the government was all like, oh, you're pandering to kids. And you can't put you can't make a product that's an energy drink mixed with booze anymore. So it's like, I think now you don't get the energy drink part of it. It's just like a malt liquor beverage. So that's fucking lame.
Or they lowered the alcohol content or something. I know Night Train they had to stop making, which was an actual liquor with energy drink. And then Red Bull actually got its start because of it would have never made it as an energy drink on its own until people got Red Bull and vodka.
Yeah, that's right. So now it's like, that's just the way that fucking it is in America these days, or forever. It's like they always got to fucking protect you. And it's like, I'm just going to go get a Red Bull and some booze and mix them together on my own now. It's not like it's not like I don't know how to do this,
Right.
Yeah, right.
But, I don't know that we fully correctly introduced you yet. You are Intruder Green of the Intruder Green.
Yeah, we're pretty far into this.
Intruder Green podcast, also from the band Masked Intruder.
Yeah, that's right.
You guys sing songs about love and allegedly committing crimes.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly, of course. I wanted to kind of dive into the podcast stuff first. So you just released, I think it's your second episode, just came out. And what made you want to do this, and why podcasting?
Podcasting seems like, I got this phone, and, I can't use it much like a real phone because, I don't know who it originally belonged to. I just found it. But the idea is, for me, it's like I like to I like to listen to podcasts, and I figure, I like to stay in touch with friends and stuff, and I think we made a bunch of friends, on the road and everything, so it's like now I can help them, kind of promote themselves, and maybe it'll be like a good side hustle. So, people give me tons of money on Patreon and stuff, and I can use that to, fucking pay for bail and stuff when the cops are harassing me.
That's a great plan.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's a great plan. I ain't making no money yet, but, a little bit.
Yeah, it takes some time.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty familiar with the band Masked Intruder as well, so I was really excited to see that you were doing this podcast.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's a pleasure to be on it, I like drinking beer, too, so I think it's almost like a match made in some place, like a brewery or something, or whatever the saying is. I don't know.
I was thinking about it, and I was trying to think of all the times I've seen Masked Intruder, and I'm pretty sure, almost every single time I see you, it's with Direct Hit, which is one of my favorite bands as well. And
yeah, that makes sense because they're from Wisconsin, and we go way back with those guys. We used to play basement shows with them and everything, and yeah, they're good friends of ours. I don't know if you've been in touch with them, but Nick Woods, the singer for that band, just opened up a club. It's the old, I think it used to be called the Metal Grill or whatever. Yeah. So that's real cool. I'm excited to go check that out one of these days.
Yeah, that should be a pretty cool thing. I've gone to a few shows at the Metal Grills, but
is that in Madison?
It's in Milwaukee. It's in Cudahy. It used to be just a bar and grill. Now they turned it into an arcade, and they're gonna have shows and everything like that there too. So but yeah, I've always had a really good time with seeing you guys. It's always been a good show, and it's never been disappointing. So I'm really honored for you to be on here. One of the questions also I want to talk to you about is have you watched this show, The Masked Singer, on ABC?
No. Yeah, it sounds like we should be on that show or something.
Yeah, I think you should. Terry Bradshaw and shit's been on there, and
oh wow, really?
Yeah, it's a big deal.
They should pay you though, because you'll bring your own masks, right?
Yeah, I mean they should definitely pay us. I don't know, they should pay us, or we're gonna fucking get our money somehow. But so what Terry Bradshaw was on there. Was he just wearing a football mask, the fucking on the helmet?
I'm not really sure. He was wearing, I think, a pineapple head or some shit like that. And
oh well, that's delicious.
Yeah, I've never watched it yet, but I thought I'd give it a shot and see if you guys follow other masked people or not.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know nothing about that show. I've seen the commercials for it or whatever, but yeah, problem is for a show like that, and me thinking about watching it, is it looks fucking stupid. So yeah, I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
In all honesty.
Yeah, that's mainly the reason I haven't seen it either. But
yeah, I think that's kind of the main problem.
Yeah, for sure. Going back to, I guess, your podcast. So far you're kind of talking to friends and stuff. And is it predominantly people that kind of are in the world of punk rock?
Oh, I'm not trying to keep it that way. We got lots of friends that do other sorts of things, and I don't want to I don't know, get into it too much because like a lot of this, it's still pretty new for me, and like I don't want to say I'm going to interview somebody and then it never happens, and people are like, "Hey, what the fuck? Green's lying to us again," and I'll be like, "Yeah, get used to it, buddy." But we got lots of friends who do all sorts of different stuff. Like I think. I don't know when this episode comes out or whatever, but like you said, I just came out with episode number 2, and that was with Bambi Guthrie. She's like, she's in the punk scene, but she's not like a musician or nothing. She just fucking, she's an amazing photographer, and she's just like super good friends with a lot of cool people. So we had a good time hanging out. And I like interviewing people kind of who do different stuff, like people who might be like write for a punk zine or something. Well, I don't know if you can call it a zine. They're actually like real magazines these days. I don't know if anybody's doing zines anymore.
I'm not sure.
But
I think they're doing. Yeah. I don't even know if they do blogs anymore.
Yeah, I know. It's like everybody at this point was like, wait a minute. Everybody's doing this, and now it's not special. So let me actually get a real job working for a real, company or some shit.
Well, I think it starts in the underground anyway. I have a question, because Drew's a super fan, or like I think he mentioned a figure. But how long have you guys been a band?
Oh, that is hard to say. Mainly because my memory is real fucked up these days. Once we started being in a band, it was like, one of the things we realized we had in common is first of all, wear ski masks. And second of all, we like to sing. And that's kind of like what everybody knows about us. But the other thing people might not realize is that we really like to like drink and party and stuff. So basically, ever since we got together, we've been doing a lot of that too. So it's kind of hard to remember how long we've been doing it. But I would say, I think we put out our first album on Red Scare in like, what was it, 2011 or some shit?
Okay.
That's very possible. I might be totally wrong about that, but around that, yeah. Like 7 years or so.
Yeah, I think the first time that I had saw you guys, it was with, like I said, Direct Hit played, and then it was Brendan Kelly and the Wandering Birds. I'm pretty sure that was at the Beat Kitchen in Chicago, which was a really good show. My friend Josh introduced me to you guys. He's been a pretty big driving force behind a lot of the music I listen to. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. And then one thing I wasn't expecting was, and now I've come to expect every time I go to a show, is Officer Bradford's ass at some point is most likely going to touch me.
Oh yeah, I will be afraid of that too. I'm always like trying to stay away from him with that. Like, I like to get a little naked on stage too. You might see me take my shirt off, but that's usually just because I'm real hot at the end of the fucking show. He likes to go pretty much all the way without having his wang out, although that might have happened a time or two as well. I don't know. But, it could be a concern. I could see that.
It was always my wife, the first time she saw you guys, she wasn't expecting it, and I had been to a show before, and she was, I'm pretty sure she looked at me in disappointment and like, how nice his butt was versus how not nice mine is. So it's kind of a bummer.
Yeah. It's all that donuts and whiskey he eats. That's pretty much like his whole diet. And it pays off apparently. Yeah.
And you guys have been really pretty much as soon as you released that first record, you guys were touring quite a bit and played a lot of shows, and you've played with some pretty incredible bands. Is there any like bands that really stood out to you or that you haven't played with yet that you would like to?
Oh man, I can name very few bands that we've played with that I was like not stoked on. And I don't really want to name them because A, that would be giving cred to like a band that I'm not into, and also that's just kind of mean. But all these bands have been cool. Like all the Fat Records bands we've been able to play with, like everybody in that whole fucking scene is so cool. And just the fact that like, shortly after we kind of got on Fat, and did that. We're on Pure Noise now, but like our friends Direct Hit, like we were talking before, suddenly they're on Fat and stuff like that. So it's like everything is just moving along and it's fucking great. I would say that like one of my favorite bands like right now, I got like two I would talk about, and it's probably like Toy Guitar. They're a fat band. Jack Dalrymple from like he's been in a bunch of different stuff, including like Dead to Me and stuff like that. And then this band from Rotterdam that we like met them when they were in other bands, and then they just started this new band called Lone Wolf. And I think they've been around for like a year now, so they're pretty new. But they are fucking really cool people. And like I just want to move to Rotterdam. I don't know if you guys ever been there, but like when we got to tour Europe, it's like one of the most prettiest cities ever, and like everybody there is like attractive because they're Europeans, and it seems like they got a real cool lifestyle. And apparently they got cool music too, because that band is from there. So fucking yeah.
I'll definitely have to check them out. The furthest I've ever been out of the country, I guess you could consider Alaska. That's the furthest I've ever been.
That's in the country.
It's in the country,
technically in the country, but you had to leave the country to get there.
Yeah, there's not a lot of things going on there.
Weird thing.
There's no boundaries in the air.
Right, no boundaries in the air. I don't know the rules.
What were you doing in Alaska?
I originally, the first time I went up there was to go see my friend he was in the Army and he was about to get deployed, so I wanted to go hang out with him, and then I met my wife there. So I've been up there a few other times to hang out with family and stuff like that. Yeah, so my wife moved from Alaska to Wisconsin.
All right. I could see that, though, because it's like, obviously the weather is a little better in Wisconsin, but like the land is kind of like, I feel like Wisconsin is almost like Alaska light. In a way,
There's areas I think, but I know a lot of people from Wisconsin that have gone to Alaska, never came back. Mm-hmm. They went there just to visit.
Oh yeah, because they died probably. Oh yeah, okay.
I never thought of it that way. I was thinking
because they like got lost in a wilderness and got eaten by a bear or some shit.
I guess I haven't heard. I'm gonna have to make some calls after this podcast. And just.
Oh yeah, I didn't mean to make you worry, but it might be good to check in.
It's actually been like 5 years since he's talked to them, so I'm pretty sure they are dead.
Oh, shit. Yeah, probably. I mean, 5 years is a long time. I would probably be dead if I was in one place for 5 years.
I'm not built for Alaska, that's for sure. I'm barely built for Wisconsin.
Oh yeah. I don't think most people are. Like I heard about all the fucking snow going on over there. The what do they call it? The polar vortex. I remember when that was like a new thing, and everybody was like, "Oh fuck, it's a polar vortex. We're all gonna die." And then they got through it, and now it's just like every year. It's like, when's the polar vortex coming?
I feel like it started in a movie, and it was like, "Oh, that'll never happen."
Yeah,
the day
probably.
After tomorrow or something, where you can just get frozen on the spot. We're heading there.
Yeah, it could be. Fucking scary shit.
Yeah, it really is. But I still love Wisconsin. It's always a good spot to be in, and
I'll always come back here, even if I.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool place,
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of great music has come out of it, and people don't give that the credibility it deserves. But
yeah, like speaking of that, I gotta say, did you ever hear the songs? Fucking Lollipop and Mr. Sandman.
Yeah.
Did you know they were written by a fucking group from Wisconsin?
I had no idea.
They're called the Cordettes. And when I fucking found that out, I was amazed. I think that's like, those are two pretty fucking iconic songs, It's like if you're going to make a movie and it's a period piece in like, I don't know when they came out, like the 50s or early 60s or some shit. It's like, you're going to have one of those songs in the movie. Like, you just have to. It always happens. Fucking Back to the Future, whatever. And yeah, both of them were written by this all-women, group. And apparently some of them are still around and stuff like that. So, I thought that was real cool. Real cool Wisconsin, trivia right there.
Yeah, there's a lot of good creative stuff that comes out of Wisconsin that I don't think people realize, because people leave Wisconsin to pursue it or whatever. Like, there's not a big scene for production here, I don't think.
Oh, yeah. But that, that just takes us to where we are right now. It's like, I'm in a different country talking to you guys, and fucking, now more than ever, it doesn't matter where you are. You could fucking make a career in, like, movies or fucking music from anywhere these days. And that's real cool. That's, like, the one good thing about the internet.
Yeah, I would agree. And I know a lot of people, like, when they think of Wisconsin, they think of just, violent femmes and maybe Heather Graham.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I like Heather Graham, though.
I didn't know.
Or Garbage.
Oh, yeah, Garbage. Yeah, Heather Graham's from Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I think of a couple pro skaters and Dan Harmon.
Dan Harmon's cool, too.
Oh, yeah, Dan Harmon's from there. That's cool. That's also right. Also, like, I said Garbage, but, like, you also just want to think of, like, Butch Vig, like, the drummer from Garbage, also amazing producer, fucking still killing it, fucking winning Grammys with Green Day and the Foo Fighters and shit.
Yeah, that is
actually Tony Shalhoub too. Can't leave out Tony Shalhoub.
I love that guy.
Yeah, who doesn't? He's American. He's
I didn't know he was. That's crazy. Oh, and of course, I was talking to Bambi about this. Mark Ruffalo is from Wisconsin.
Oh, is he really?
Shit, that's insane.
The Hulk? Yeah, the fucking Hulk. Bruce Banner.
Or did you kind of take after the Hulk with the green, or were you just born with the green mask? How does that work?
Yeah, as far as back as I can remember. I don't, like I said, my memory is kind of fuzzy. But yeah, pretty sure it just popped out that way. And yeah, as far as the Hulk goes, like he's kind of somebody to look up to, especially because he's like big and tall. I never met him, but I think we would get along.
Are you more of a Lou Ferrigno, or do you like the Mark Ruffalo? I thought...
they're all great. But
I honestly, I like the Norton one. I'm a Norton fan, but Mark Ruffalo. Now I think he might beat Norton just because he's from Wisconsin now.
That's right. The Norton one was all right. But when they were replacing with Mark Ruffalo, I don't know. It was also, just the writing and everything. Like maybe Mark Ruffalo got lucky. But I also heard there was because I'm a big comic book dork. I love that shit. So I was reading that Ed Norton, he had some, he had some drama with the producers or some shit, and that's why they replaced him. So that's kind of on him, from what I've heard.
Yeah, that's similar to what I've heard too. And I like Mark Ruffalo, and I still there's an episode where I got in a pretty heated debate about the importance of watching the Marvel movies in order, and I said it's not necessary. How do you feel about that?
I mean, it's not necessary. You're right. Just watch them because they're all fucking amazing and fun. But I will say that me and a friend got down and fucking I had seen a bunch of them in not in the right order, or I saw them when they came out or some shit. But if you watch them in the timeline, starting with fucking the Captain America. And then, because that's in the 40s, and then you go through everything after that. It's kind of fun to do it that way. And for my friend, it was the first time they'd seen these movies. So for them, it was kind of mind blowing.
Nice.
There was I listened to this podcast that they outlined the Marvel versus DC battle back in the it's really good. If you like comic books, you should check that out. It's Business Wars, Marvel versus DC.
Oh yeah, that would be interesting.
Are you more of a Marvel guy than a DC guy?
Oh yeah, I always kind of have been. I don't know why specifically, other than I just think maybe that book you're talking about might explain things, although I might have to find an audio book because I'm not so good with the reading. But I think I've just always enjoyed the Marvel characters more, and they had some really good writers. Chris Claremont is a real good comic book writer that I always enjoyed. Reading his stories and stuff, or at least hearing about them. And now that they're making the movies, it's they got some real good stuff to work with. And I feel with DC, it's not that all their movies are bad. It's just they're trying to do what Marvel has been doing, and just I I don't know, failing. It's like, but they were doing a good job with like the fucking Chris Nolan, Christian Bale, Batman movies. Those are real good. Like they've always done pretty good with Batman. Like even I fucking love fucking Michael Keaton and shit. Yeah, but
Batman's my favorite.
Mine too.
That's your favorite,
For
Michael
sure.
Keaton?
Just Batman, the superhero.
Oh yeah.
One thing I did hear, or what, like while listening to that podcast, they were talking about how the DC comics were around first, kind of, and they didn't have the story that Marvel did. So, like, with that template, Marvel movies will lend themselves better to movies that catch people's attention because they were written better. The comics were written better. There's more back.
Yeah, it seems like with a lot of these DC characters, they were just like, hey, this looks cool, and what about this? And it seems kind of like it's hard to like turn it into something believable.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Speaking of character development, I just have a question to bring it back to the band, your band.
Yeah.
Do the masks create an atmosphere where nobody fights for the most attention? Do you guys have any power struggles in the band, or do the masks take care of that?
Oh,
issue?
I mean, the only issue that the masks take care of is, keeping our identity secret and also keeping us really warm. But yeah, as far as power struggles go, like, oh, fucking, we're all fighting for attention up there. Red's always pissing and moaning because he's like, oh, I'm stuck behind these drums. Not enough people could see me. And I'm like, well, that's your fucking problem, buddy. I'm up there dancing.
Yeah, definitely. And then Yellow, he's kind of got that mystique to him. He doesn't really talk much, but
yeah, he's a quiet dude. He's got that quiet cool. You ever heard of that from like that movie?
You should make a comic book for your band.
Oh yeah, I would love to have a comic book about my band. In fact, well, yeah, like they might find another band to be the ones fighting us, and we'd be like doing the crimes. Maybe we could do like a team up with the Joker or some shit and be his dudes.
That'd be pretty sweet.
It's the first dudes that make Joker's plans work.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how good we are at actually pulling shit off, but like I'd give it a shot. We were actually we were on a cover of New Noise magazine, I think last month or some shit, a little while ago anyway, and they made it look like a comic book. So I thought that was pretty cool. I was thinking maybe we did have a comic book inside, but then it was just an interview.
Well, that's pretty sweet. Yeah, I mean, with you guys, and what are your favorite crimes? And then, as far as being comic book heroes, you would think you're always getting ladies, which I would think, do you guys get a lot of ladies? You sing about it quite a bit, and sometimes it doesn't work out, but how's that going?
I don't know. I don't really understand how the whole getting ladies things works. I figure you show up at the house, you bring them some kind of present, or maybe, you find something laying around the house to give to them, and you're like, hey, remember this? I think you lost it. You're just trying to be helpful, and then they freak out and call the cops. It's like, well, I don't know. I'm at a loss, I would have to say. None of us really get any girls, but we're still trying, like we write some songs about it, and, it helps fuel the fire that way.
Hope they like green a lot.
Hope they like green. Yeah, exactly. It's a good-ass color, like.
I might try that approach. Might get me better.
Yeah, what's your color?
What's your color?
Cerulean blue.
Cerulean blue. I don't even know what that means.
I don't know either.
X-Files reference.
Oh, I love that show too.
Yeah, we're big Dave Duchovny fans, but I think
yeah, he's great.
Rob's a little more than me, but yeah, we're in love with him. He's amazing.
I've got deep
Yeah, I would
roots
say so.
to David Duchovny, I think. I hope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say so as well. But yeah, man. So what's all going on with the Masked Intruder? You guys are releasing a new album soon, and I saw you guys are doing. Are you doing a full tour, or are you doing just a couple shows with the Interrupters?
Oh no, yeah, we're doing a whole fucking tour with them. We're all over the United States and some dates in Canada. We're actually going to be heading out. I think the first show is like the 22nd of February. So I don't know. This episode might be out. Like we might be on tour when this episode comes out. I'm not sure what the release date for these sorts of things is.
Cool.
Drew's a super professional. He came over during the polar vortex to get one done. He gets it out on Friday no matter what. He's like better than the post office.
Well, that's cool because, yeah, I know like lots of podcasts, they do them like a month in advance, but you guys like stay current. And that's cool. Yeah, you could do like a news segment and shit.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I just don't have time to do a month in advance. I don't think maybe I got to start like doing like the crime type thing. Do you make some cash off of that?
Doing crimes? Yeah. That's the whole idea of crime. You make some money.
I think the last time I benefited from stealing, I got like a Rice Krispie treat.
Oh yeah, you steal some Rice Krispie treats? Those are delicious.
I paid for the sub though. I was drunk on State Street and I paid for the sub, but I took the Rice Krispie.
Oh yeah, that'll happen.
But yeah. So you said you're doing a tour, and then you said you're hitting up Milwaukee. I think you're right, the Riverside.
Yeah, that sounds right. We're definitely hitting up Milwaukee, and I did want to say before I forget. Yeah, the album comes out March 1st, I believe, is the release of the album.
Yeah, I look forward to it. You guys have a couple singles out that they can listen to and get a taste of.
Yes, indeed.
I was going to ask because I'm not. I didn't have time to delve deep into your musical work. I got sucked into it. But unfortunately, my internet connection, I didn't get to hear the last 10 minutes because my phone shut down. But
oh shit, it's still up there, I promise.
Yeah, I think it's still somewhere. But is there anything that you would recommend? Should I start from the beginning of your catalog, or do you have things that you like, songs you like or would recommend?
Of the music? Yeah, I would say just start out with the first album. It's probably the most punk rock album we've done, and we like to be like real melodic because we got soft hearts and stuff. So I would say start with the beginning. Start from the beginning. I mean, this is only our third full length that we're about to come out with, so it's pretty easy to listen to it all. I think our albums are like barely a half hour each.
So is the music that opens your podcast, is that your band?
No, that's actually a band that we're friends with called Tight Bros. They're from like Cincinnati or some shit. And it's a song called Particles. And yeah, I know it's like stupid. Like, why the fuck wouldn't you start your podcast out with your own band? And I'm like, well, it's my podcast. It's not the Masked Intruder podcast. I kind of wanted to save that in case, we want to do like a full band podcast someday.
It's like wearing your own T-shirt or something. Like some people look at that.
Yeah, exactly. And I usually end it with a Masked Intruder song just because I'm like, well, you've been paying attention this long, you deserve a little something.
For the real intruder maniacs out there,
Isn't that like a rule? Like when you go to a show, are you really not supposed to wear the band that you're seeing their shirt?
Yeah, don't be that guy. It's like from that movie, fucking, what is that movie? PCU or some shit?
I'm not sure.
Is that with oh my god, I'm blanking on his name, but he's
Jeremy Piven and John
Jeremy
Favreau.
Piven, yeah, PCU. That's a great movie. That's an insanely good drop for yeah.
I don't know it.
Yeah, it's a good ass movie.
Fling and meet at people. It's a college movie. It's a great movie. Watch it. Everybody watch it.
Oh.
Yeah, they got George Clinton in there. He's real, George Clinton. I always get confused because I was like, that guy got elected president? It's so weird.
I always get ripped on, or when I used to be in radio full time, people would always make fun of me because I haven't seen like these iconic movies. And like the one you're talking about, I haven't heard of. Is it iconic or is
I think it's a cult.
Yeah, it's not well known, but like people, it's a good ass movie. It's just one of those movies that kind of flew under the radar, but like, yeah, totally cult.
Made me a Jeremy Piven fan, and that's what I was trying to find his name, but he plays the writer Jerry in the Larry Sanders Show, and I was like searching, and I kept coming up with Jerry.
Is he like a basketball player, Jeremy Piven?
No,
Who
he's
am I thinking of?
Super funny.
Scottie Pippen?
Scottie Pippen, maybe. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was a big fan of Jeremy Piven too, but then I heard he got some fucking he got called out in the U2 or a Me Too movement because he did some fucked up shit. And I'm like, God damn it. Why does everybody have to be fucking an asshole these days? Or like thinking they wouldn't get caught or some shit.
The other question that I had that I don't know if you want to answer this or how in depth you can get, but over your time period of being in the punk scene, whether it's in the band or just listening to music, like has it changed dramatically in any? Because I used to listen to, I was kind of part of the scene when I was like 15, 20 years ago because my brother was in punk bands, and the FDL scene we had a pretty decent punk scene back in the day. And it changed heavily, in a pretty short time span. So I was wondering if, throughout the state or Madison or in whatever area you want to answer the question for, I guess. Oh
yeah, we've been around a lot of different places, but yeah, I would say it's definitely changed over the last 15 years. I mean, first of all, what hasn't? Things are very different now than they were in 2003 or whatever. But the thing is, especially talking about all these Fat Records bands, a lot of them, they were right there and right in the prime time when fucking everybody was buying CDs and shit. And it's that was a great time to be a punk band because it was it was the new, it's not like punk rock was new in the late 90s, early 2000s, but it was hot again, I think Offspring in 94, they fucking put out the biggest independent record album of all time. A record album. Yeah, they used to call them that back then, I think. But anyway, so people were buying this shit. CDs were super easy to fucking make. They weren't even making vinyl at some point, there's a lot of shit that I used to listen to back then that I've been trying to find on vinyl, and it either doesn't exist or it's getting reissued on vinyl now. But it's you're a punk band. What?
There's definitely a big shift, I think, from, especially in punk bands at that time, to go from, what's the smaller one, the 33s or the 27s?
33s. I think those are
30,
the...
Well,
33s are the rotations.
45 or
45s,
or
yeah.
45. So I don't know my stuff. But I remember my brother and his friends, they always could get the small records of the punk bands that they liked, or my cousins who were
the 7 inches
old,
right.
And then once CDs became bigger, I think they stopped.
They stopped because they were too fucking expensive. And now it's crazy because with the fucking internet, that's what happened is the fucking internet came along. And fucking you had Napster and shit like that. And everybody was like, oh, Napster, you're fucking, you can't give away music for free. We're going to sue you and shut you down. And now that's just the way it is. Everything's Napster. You got fucking Google Music. You got your fucking Spotify, fucking Apple Music. You got
music, if I want to hear something, I just go to YouTube or whatever. And
yeah, you can watch video of it. It's all up there. And it's it's funny how we got so bent out of shape about Napster back in the day. And now that's just what everybody's doing.
I like the way that punk has kind of gone in the last 10 years, just because you don't have to fear for your life, which is I'm okay with singing and dancing, having a good time, and not getting punched in the face.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, nobody wants to fucking end up dead when they go to a show.
Yeah, and that's definitely has happened. And I've been in shows too, where you just get pushed enough, you fall down, and some dude's jumping on your fucking leg, and then...
Oh, yeah, because he's rowdy and he's cool. It's no, dude, you're just a dick.
Yeah, I'm sad to say I wasn't. I was only in my 20s somewhere when I was this isn't fun anymore. I don't want to get hurt.
I'm starting to bring my kids to shows a little bit. I have my daughter, she's 10 and my son's 5, but
Parent of the Year.
Yep, I'm actually bringing my daughter to the Majestic pretty soon in April, which is going to be fun. But I definitely know the exact spot I want to go to, and it's as far away. It's not that far, but it's right by a table, and I'm totally down with that. I like hanging out in the back these days. I'm an old man.
Oh yeah, and that's why it's important it's cool that you're bringing your kids to shows and stuff, because that's really the best part about punk rock that I think it always has been, is that it's young people's music, And it's like they get that energy. And now, you know, it's been around long enough that we do have older people into it. And, you know, yeah, that's why there's like, that's the only reason it's still like we're able to play these big shows, because like old people got money. Kids don't got no fucking money. They just want to fucking show up, rock out, and like, I don't know, they probably just brought their own beer in from the fucking car or some shit, which, you know, that's good on them, fucking being frugal and shit and doing illegal stuff.
Bands used to have to pay the venue so that they could play a show.
Oh, pay to play. I fucking hate that shit. They did that in Wisconsin?
Yeah, up in Fond du Lac. But it was there was a really crazy venue. Like looking back on
the Legion?
No, Do It All Sports.
Oh, Do It All Sports.
There's a place called Do It All Sports.
That sounds like a fucking great venue.
It was an interesting venue, but it was like indoor sports. It had an indoor soccer field, an indoor hockey rink.
Oh yeah, I remember that place actually. I went to a show or two there.
Bands, mostly it was punk bands that would do it, but they would pay to go play there, and then we would all show up and bring our own alcohol. And
yeah. I mean, that might be a different kind of situation, because it's like, I don't know, that seems like that place wasn't really set up to be a venue. It was like a sports place, so it's like they were probably more like, you want to rent this out to do what? All right, whatever.
And they gave us the smallest little area too, which was so funny. They put us upstairs where there's like the size of a living room, and when there's a soccer field or a hockey rink not being used, right over the wall.
Yeah.
What's it like to like? So you're saying, you know, you started in basements, and obviously that's where basements, garage, it's kind of the places where most bands start. But now, you know, you guys have seen some success, and you've gotten some pretty cool tours and everything like that, and you're playing like bigger theaters and stuff. Is it different to do bigger crowds, bigger shows, or it's got to be pretty fucking awesome, I would think.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, like I always, you can draw a pretty fucking crazy, I don't know what to call it, contrast. Like you adjust the contrast on your TV. I heard that can be used for like a literary thing too. So to do that, it's like, yeah, we play basements and stuff. Like, I don't know, we might still end up playing a basement someday. I don't know if anybody's really ever above that. But, you know, oh yeah, sometimes they're the fucking best. You fucking get the room moving, like, or even just playing like smaller clubs where you're like able to like fucking have the audience almost on stage. It's like, that's cool shit. But then we go to fucking Japan, which we had the opportunity to do a few years ago for the Fat Records 25-year anniversary tour. Like, so they brought us and a bunch of other Fat Records bands over there, and I don't know. I think it was like 20,000 people. It was like over 20,000 people total, like on the day. We played earlier, so there wasn't quite that many people there, but it was still like very full. And it was just like, that was crazy. Like, it was like, I'd never seen that many people in one space before. Like, it was nuts.
Yeah,
that sounds amazing.
One of my, as narcissistic as this may sound, one of my like kind of like fantasies is just to walk out on a stage and just hear everyone clap for me and see what it feels like.
Oh yeah, it's pretty cool.
I think that would be a lot of fun, and I look forward to the tours and everything, the new music and stuff. I've never seen the Interrupters yet, and I really love them.
Oh, they're great.
They're so good.
We met them on a Warped Tour. What did we do there? Like, was that 2016? Oh yeah, it was definitely 2016. And you know, we were both on the same stage on a Warped Tour, and fucking we got along great with those guys. Hung out a few times, and then we would do stuff like come up on stage and like goof around with them and stuff during their set, and they would help us out. And they are just fucking amazing musicians. So yeah, really looking forward to the tour.
I think that one of the things that punk music like doesn't get the credit for from people that don't listen to it is the insane chops that some people have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Because you're just doing it so fast and well that it doesn't. A lot of people don't catch it, and
yeah, that's right. And no, exactly. I appreciate you saying that though, because it's like, you know, like a fucking, even people like me, like I started playing punk rock because it was easy and I thought it was the coolest fucking music ever. I'm still right about that, but it's not fucking easy. Like even the real simple shit, it's like you got to be fucking doing down picking all the time because, you know, like the Ramones would be real sad if you didn't. And you got to fucking kick ass all the time. Like, yeah, the song might sound simple, but it's there's a lot that goes into it, kind of like behind the scenes or whatever.
You see people like Matt Freeman in Rancid, he fucking just rips it on the bass, and
oh yeah,
you'll never hear bass lines like that in any other music.
As a bassist, Rancid was some of the first stuff that I tried to learn. Tried being the key word, but the other, like the idea of as you like being in a band playing that for like, you know, what, an hour and a half or doing 2 hours of that or whatever, however long, even anything over
I don't think we're doing that long, but you know, I appreciate you thinking we could or something.
I just I know, like for me, I can't even get through some songs like playing because I just don't have the strength yet, or I didn't back when I was playing more.
Oh yeah, you know, you get conditioned to that stuff and it gets easier and easier. I'll tell you what though, you're fucking playing a Warped Tour, oh, it's fucking rough. There was days, you know, you're out there in the sun all day, and we had a buddy Brooklyn, our stage manager. He was there were some days when he just fucking stuck a bunch of like towels in a bucket of ice water, and as soon as we were done, he fucking threw them on us, and like all that felt so good.
Did you ever dunk your mask in ice water and play? I bet you that would help.
Oh, I think I dunked my head in, right after we got done. So yeah. Technically, I dunked my mask in with my head in it.
One of the first real like big shows that I went to in 2004, 2005, I was 14, was the Warped Tour. And, you know, Warped Tour got a lot of shit over the years, but you guys, there was a real good outlet to learn about other bands and to just meet cool people and discover other bands. And I think it's pretty awesome that they do it. And I like that every band only got, you know, was a half hour or something like that to play. So you really got time to explore. And like you said, you played it in 2016, so not that long ago. And now it's not a thing anymore, which is kind of a bummer, but I'm okay with it, I guess.
Yeah, well, they're actually, it wasn't not a thing for very long because they actually announced a little while ago, like maybe even only like a week or so ago, that they're doing it again this summer. So
wasn't last year the last year?
Yeah, it was supposed to be the last year, but then they said they're doing like some select dates this year, but now I think they expanded on that, so it's kind of like turning into a thing again. I don't know for sure, but I know it's definitely like there's definitely something going on.
They pulled a Brett Favre.
I always wanted to learn how to set stuff up like that. Like me and my dad always talked about trying to set up like a festival or a Wisconsin tour.
It'd be hard,
but it's like I didn't even know, like, starting a festival, like, I kind of knew where to start, but I don't have the ambition that, like, Drew has or something. I should have gotten you involved.
I don't think I could do it.
I know it's
to make a festival happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like, I know some people who've done stuff like that, and, you know, you could do it, but it's like I think you either got to have a shit ton of money or be able to get a shit ton of money, if you know what I mean. Or you just got to have a shit ton of connections. And
is probably more important.
Yeah, you don't want to be the next Fire Festival.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, even like festivals in Chicago, I go to Ride Fest every once in a while, and
oh yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And this year though, or this last summer, they had some problems and people were scared. And I went
to really?
Yeah, they had they weren't announcing like any of the bands past like the first wave. They didn't announce any like a lot of things, just because I think like bands like dropped off because of illnesses and stuff like that. But then like the week before, they finally released it all.
So were they like scared because they're like, all these bands are getting sick? Maybe somebody's like, is some like vigilante Christian rocker who's like trying to kill off all these fucking satanic punk bands or something.
Yeah, I don't really know the whole story, but I wouldn't have want to been Riot Mike at that time because that had to be super stressful, and that alone would turn me off. I'll definitely attend festivals, but I'll never organize one.
You must have really good connections to be able to start something called Riot Fest.
Yeah, right? Like, wouldn't you be afraid people would take you literally and start rioting?
The courthouse is like, you have to have good enough connections for them to be like, yeah, we'll let you do, like, you better advertise it well, that it's not just a riot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always a good time, though. And I mean, that's one of the festivals I've been to. I definitely want to get down to Gainesville for Fest one time. And then I want to Punk Rock Bowling's on the bucket list as well.
Oh, yeah. They're all fun. I love Punk Rock Bowling. I think they do it in a few different places, but we played the one in Las Vegas, and I fucking love Vegas. Like I fucking we'll go in there and do some gambling and stuff, and it's like it's kind of weird because like it'd be cooler if it was still illegal, but like the fact that it's legal there makes it like so you can do it with more money and stuff. So like you fucking make some money doing that. Fucking pretty cool.
You can always like lose all the money too, or just like play on the house money and then just bail, and you never have to worry about them because they don't know who you are.
Yeah, you guys can probably cheat really well because they don't have the facial recognition,
Yeah, that's right. It's super easy for us to get away with that shit. But at the same time, I seen that movie Casino, and that scared the shit out of me. So I fucking behaved myself.
I remember one time, I've only been to a casino a few times, and one time I went there, I got yelled at for saying shit.
Wow. You I wonder if like that movie was really just a fucking propaganda piece. Cause like maybe the fucking casinos were having a hard time, like falling on hard times, and they were like, we should make a movie that'll be a big hit, and all these people will be like freaked out because they'll see that if they fucking mess up in a casino, we're gonna fucking pop their eyes out in a vice.
Yeah, that's so I mean you guys aren't for idea. Crime like that, right? You guys are just for more like stealing, making some dough.
Oh yeah, victimless crimes. That's all we do. Like knocking off a liquor store or some shit like that. Like fucking just maybe like you left your VCR just sitting on your table and you ain't been using it, so I don't think you need it anymore. It's victimless crime.
That's kind of stuff I like. Well, Green, we're gonna let you go because
we gotta do our critique of this beer.
We gotta do the critique. Yeah, we're gonna get to it. So at the end of every episode, we talk about this the beer and.
Oh yeah, we barely talked about that. I thought it was going to be more beer centric, but yeah, I'm glad we got to share a beer. I'm almost done with mine. So
I did finish mine. The Czechvar, is that how you pronounce it? Czechvar.
Czechvar, yeah.
Czechvar is it's an imported beer. You could say the original Budweiser, whatever you want to phrase it. Green, we say drink it or dump it at the end of the episodes, and I'm going to say we drink it.
Yeah, I think you should. It's delicious, and the whole point of these is that. This is supposed to be a fucking like real crisp, light beer. It's still 5%, so it's nothing special, but it's nothing that's gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah, you could definitely drink it, and I always call like beers like if I have a game day beer, like you can watch football and drink this and actually enjoy it, and you're not just drinking like piss water. You're drinking actual beer with some actual good flavors to it. So I really liked it, and I'm glad you recommended it.
And I think you could drink like a full 30-pack of these and not even be hungover the next day. Like you still get drunk, but it's so clean that it just it won't fuck you up the way like other stuff will.
Yeah, it's good water too because it's from it's from across the world here, so it's nothing like our tainted water.
I think it makes
me that frack water.
Sorry, it makes me a little angry that it's got to be. Like at least here it's got to be marketed as the original Budweiser or whatever, because I absolutely hate Budweiser, but this was good,
right?
So it's I think people can get the wrong impression where it's like Budweiser should be marketed as the shitty version of this, which I don't even know how to, what is it, Czechvar?
Czechvar.
Yeah. So from now on, when people are drinking Budweiser like my dad does, I'm gonna go, what are you drinking, some shitty Czechvar?
Yeah, that's right. Get it started. Maybe when you send them a hashtag, they'll fucking pay you some money for that or some shit.
We'll get a cease and desist from Anheuser-Busch or whatever.
Fuck those guys. Yeah, I would frame it. I'd frame my cease and desist from Anheuser-Busch.
All right.
Or no, it's actually
Budweiser.
Right. I don't know if they're the same.
I think they're the same.
I don't know.
Yeah, Anheuser-Busch owns Budweiser, the American one. Yeah.
It was great talking to you. I really enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah, you too, guys. It was a pleasure. I'm glad we could do this.
Yeah, I'm really happy to do this, and I'm glad we got to talk to you, and best of luck with everything. And if anytime you want to hop on and promote some shit, we got you.
Yeah, looking forward to the new album, and I subscribe to the podcast, so I will continue to listen to
Thanks for doing that.
Yeah, no problem. Are you on Twitter?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter. I'm on fucking Instagram. I don't know if you guys usually do social media shout outs, but you can do all that. My Facebook page, and then, fucking hit me up on patreon.com/Intruder Green, whatever.
Okay, cool, man. Yeah, we'll definitely, I'll just include that part in it.
Yep, awesome.
Perfect.
This is great.
All right, thanks, man.
Yeah, talk to you guys again later.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Pew pew audio. Goodbye, everyone.